let's do that. That goes in the box. In the box. That goes. Hey, Sebastian. So I should do that. I think I really got to work on my my cord management that I got going on here. It is all over the board. All over. That's for that project. How's it going? There's that. Ooh, forgot about that. And that. There we go. Ooh. I don't know where that came from. There we go. Let me just send that off. There we go. Yeah, today. This has been kind of a long week. I'm actually gearing up to go. I got vacation next week, and I'm gonna go to Montana for a week. So I'm pretty stoked about that. It's been a while since I've been on vacation. Minimize that. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm so my uncle is getting married up there, and so I'm gonna take my son, and we're gonna go out to the wedding out there, and yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool. Just because it's been a few years since I've been out there. My family has a farm out there, and it would be nice just to kind of get away, um, out of the city, out in the country, and just be out and about. Um, I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I don't know why. Hmm. Hmm. Is the audio and everything coming through just fine, or are you guys having issues on your side? Okay. I was just curious. It's showing up as yellow or orange, whatever that color is. I love some of this. Um, hey, Mike Wolf. Um, the descriptions, and it has green. It says your viewers are happy. Okay. How would you know that? How's it going, Mike? Only 68 degrees. I would like for it to be 68 degrees. I don't even know what temperature it is right now. It's been really kind of hot up here, and um, yeah, I'm really not liking the heat. Rain. We had a little bit of moisture, I think, last week, but it really didn't stick very much. Just as something different. To be 87, ugly. Yeah, none of that looks fun. Um, up here in Oregon, it can get really humid. So I'm sure you guys see it too. Humidity right now is 67%. No thanks. Hey, Dirty Nichols. 74 for a high. That wouldn't be that bad if it was like 74 and like, you know, calm, like with a little bit of breeze. I think that would be just fine. Um, Inside my house, I would rather have it like on the cooler side, like 68. Once it gets up to 70, then it kind of feels just like muggy. But yeah, I'm kind of the type of person that if I could set it at 65, then I would be living in 65 all day long. In the afternoon, it gets upwards of 100 degrees. Oh. Okay, Sebastian. So is it like a dry 100 degrees, or is it like 100 degrees with like 70% humidity? Hey, Lemonhead. Dry. Oh yeah, but I would rather have dry heat than humid heat. I went down to Houston last year, after the hurricane, and it was just you walk outside and it's just this wall of humidity that you like walk into, like you can feel it against your skin, and I'm like, that's nasty. I don't I'm definitely not a southern weather kind of person. The humidity would we would not get along. We would not get along for sure. Hey, Blues Coins. Hey, so I went down with work actually, and there was a my group of people that went to and helped out a store in Port Arthur, um, which is about 45 minutes away from the Louisiana border. So we was walk out of the hotel, go drive for almost like 2 hours, work all day, drive 2 hours back. But yeah, it was a really kind of neat experience to be able to um, to be involved in that. I'm kind of just seeing how many people are gonna come in. Um, but what I wanted to do is I've got some stuff that I'm okay letting go. Um, and I just kind of want to make some extra money for my trip. So I do have some slab pieces and some silver pieces in case anyone was interested. I also have um, a bunch of varieties in the Lincoln series. So if you guys are looking for something specific, let me know. Morgan year. The Morgan year is in 1896. I turned off this light thinking that it was going to be better, but I don't know. Kind of half and half. This one is not graded. Um, Overall, it's pretty nice. It's got a lot of bag marks across the cheeks and in the fields. Um, and on the reverse, it's got a chip, not a chip, but a pretty significant strike just to the left um, of the eagles. I'll see if I can get it in here for you. So you can see where all like some of the scratches and the bag marks are. But overall, I mean, it's really just a nice looking coin. Um, so I am nowhere near uh, on my knowledge of Morgans to be able to put a grade on that. So um, yeah, the only thing that I don't like about it is just like the scratches across um the cheek and then in the fields. That's the only thing that really detracts me from it. But overall, it's a great looking coin. All right. Thanks for coming in, Blues. I did look underneath the scope, and there are some what looks like uh what am I thinking, like die cracks going along the the letters, but they're really really faint. Um, so that one is available if anyone is interested in it. I've got a 1964 Proof 64. This is the accented hair variety. I have four. I guess you put it where you can see it. These are 1972 Munich Games. These are silver. They minted about 2.3 million of them. So they're really neat. There's 4 different designs for the Munich Games. That light is really throwing it off. Let me. There we go. It's just that light. That light is throwing it off. I have 4 of these different mint marks. But these I got these as part of basically a set. And they're really neat. And that's why I got them, but I don't necessarily need 4 of them. And then I also have 3 slabbed Proof 70 Deep Cameo Sacagaweas. That light is really... Let me kill that light for a second. Hold on. Oh yeah, that's already much clearer. So I have a 2000, a 2003, and a 2004S, all ICD slabbed, Proof 70 Deep Cameo. I've got all 3 of those. Then I have some other stuff. I've got some proofs. They're not going to be super great. But I've got a couple of proof Kennedys. I have some proof sets, and then I have errors and varieties that I found in 1896. 1896. Right there. Some errors and varieties in the Lincoln series, in case you guys were looking for one. I have double dies, I have double die reverses, I have die chips, I've got RPMs, I've got I got a lot of stuff. I got clashes. So some of the stuff that I found tonight, like this one, I found this. This is a 1991 proof. It's got scratches in the fields, but the edges on this is sharp, like really sharp. And then I found this one tonight. I don't know what happened to this poor Benji. Um, but the edge looks like it's been like cut. It is the strangest thing that I've ever seen, and it's like along the edges, then it goes all the way over to this side, and then it's also on the front, and I have no idea what it is. Nothing that old lemon. I would have just modern stuff that I found in coin roll hunting. Right? Isn't that the weirdest thing you've ever seen? Because it's like waffling, but it is it like it cuts some of it out. So I don't know if this is like a machine that does that or um yeah, I don't that it's just I don't know, it's weird. Morgan. All right, Sebastian, I'll see you later. Um I was thinking about 40 for the Morgan. Small date. Small date. Hmm. Thinking. I just found a 2001 Philly on my desk, and I don't know why it's there. A Kennedy. 37? Over there. $37.10. 37.01. 37. Yeah, I'll take that. I remember what I paid for, and I definitely overpaid on that one. And I know there's no way I'm getting my money back on that. I like the holder though. The holder is kind of cool. I don't know where it came from. Yeah, I mean, it's really just I would rather have the extra money um when I'm sitting on it. I have three other Morgans that I'm holding on to. So this one doesn't is not like a need or anything for me. It's not part of a collection. It's not like it's I don't really have any association other than I just have this Morgan. So it was the only Morgan that I bought off of looks before I really got into researching coins and figuring out what the difference is. So that's where this one came from. So this is the very first Morgan that I ever purchased, and I definitely overpaid on it by an amount, and I know I'm not going to get all of my money back. So I was shooting for the $40 mark. But anything around that, I'll basically take. Happy wife, happy life. That's right. Have a good night, Mike. Thanks for coming in. Hey, Nine Dimes. So I have basically I have the coins here, and then any of my heirs and varieties that I have in my boxes over here. I've got two boxes of heirs and varieties that I found coin roll hunting in the Lincoln series. I also have some nickels and some half dollars, but these are some of the things. And I labeled the video desk clearing because this is what my desk looks like. It's blown up, and I've been trying to organize it for a good couple of streams. and that's where I'm at with it. I have a 2000S. This is an ICG slabbed. Hello, where's it at? ICG slab proof 70 deep cameo. I've got a 2000S, a 2003S, and a 2004S Sacagawea. I've got all three of those. Those are $10 each. I've got a Morgan. I've got a 91 proof Kennedy. I have a 1964 accent hair variety proof proof 64 Kennedy half dollar. I don't know why it's all of a sudden blurry again. I thought I had this figured out. Come on. Come on. Lemonhead, yes. So 1964 accented hair. The accented hair is a variety where there's extra strands of hair right here, and the in the eye. Yeah, it's missing part of the serif. And then I also have four of these. They're 1972 Munich Games Olympic commemoratives. These are silver. The neat thing with these is that this is one of four designs. This particular design, there was 2.3 million minted, and there's actually several varieties in these coins, and these are just four that I end up picking up. So I do have these available as well. And then I've got a if you guys are looking for any RPMs, double dies that I might have, I've got some die chips, all kinds of stuff. The goal is that I want to clean up a little bit, and I would like to make a little bit extra money for my vacation that I'm going on next week. Just because that's the whole goal behind this. Lemonhead. If you have PayPal. I should have the email up on the screen. That is also my PayPal email. So another cool thing with these is that there's actually two different types. There is like business strike coins, which are these all are, but then there's also proof. On top of that, there are different types. So this one are the rare of the two types that this says in München, which is in Munich. There's also other commemorative tokens, or I'm sorry, not tokens, commemorative coins that say in Deutschland, which is in Germany. So there are several different varieties in these designs that people can even put sets together for. So it's really kind of interesting. So these are some of the ones that I have. Um, hey, Adriana, I didn't even know that you were in here. For the accented hair, I'm asking 30 for that. There's a couple of coins that I bought. They were some of the first coins that I bought. And it was way before that I knew a lot of the history about the coins or what makes them different. And so I am hopefully past that point where now that I know a little bit more about coins, I'm making smarter decisions. You want that one, Adriana? Okay. Oh, Lemonhead says 35. Uh-oh. Uh, Lemonhead, I just got it. So this one's yours. Thank you, Lemonhead. What do you guys want to do with the accent hair? Lemon, do you want it, or are you letting Adriana take it? Okay. Okay, Adriana. Adriana, accented hair. Okay. So there's that. So I have um um Sacagaweas, 2000, 2003, 2004. Proof 70 deep cameos. I have the 72 Munich games. This is just a 91 proof candy that I found today. It's got scratches on it, but it's still pretty nice. I mean, the edges on it are sharp, and that's what gave it away. I also have I've got a bunch of varieties, errors, and nickels. I've got two small boxes of pennies, and like I said, I'm just trying to make some extra money on the side. I need to fund my my 3D printing habit. It's kind of a thing. Right there. I also got these. So all of these right here, these are all the NIFCs that I found today, and well, half of them anyway. But all of these that I picked up, so what is there, 6? Every single one of them is a 2017. So I found 6 2017 NIFCs in rolls today. And I was like, holy smokes. Because here's the other half of the NIFCs. So I've got 2004, 2006, 2005, 2011, 2005, 2004, and 2014. It's so, yeah. It for whatever reason, like I'll get a box that just has nothing in it, like garbage, and then I'll get a box that is just stacked full of NIFCs. Hey, Adriana, check this one out. I stutter if you guys haven't figured that out. This poor Franklin. I have no idea what happened to this poor guy. But this is actually one that I found in the box today. So I managed to get 1 silver out of it, and this is it. And this poor Franklin, he's seen some better days. And I have no idea what did this to this coin. Like it's almost waffled, but it's like what would do that? And if you look, see if I get close up. Like it goes around the edge almost all the way. And I don't know. Because like it comes around on this side, but then it disappears, and then it's back on this side, starts down here, and then all the way. But yeah, this is the craziest thing that I've seen. But this poor Ben, he's seen some better days. But what's really cool is that this is my first Franklin in a $half box. So I've been able to find a Walker and a Ben, and a 64s, and other silvers. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So I have, I can dig out my box of proof sets. I've got some proof sets. I have errors and varieties in the Lincolns, some double dies, a bunch of different RPMs, die chips. What is this one? Oh, this I think is the one of, I think, only 2. And this may be my only one with the a cut error on it. I found this coin roll hunting. So I thought that was kind of neat. You could tell it's weak right there. Either way, Shay. You sold Lincoln one like that? Good night, Adriana. Thanks for coming in. So if you guys are looking for double dies, I know I have some proofs, but they're modern. It's in the files. got a lot of those modern column doubling. I've got what is that? Struck through and grease reverse. DDRs on the 98s. I have 98. Where's it at? I have 98 whams. I've got a couple of those. I don't know if I have a 2000. Let me check. No, I don't have a 2000, but I know I have a couple in 98 white AMs. Or peanut butter. Oh, you guys will like this one. So this one I also have one of these, and this is the one I found. This is a 1988 Denver with the 89 reverse. So the big thing about the 88s and the 88 Denvers is they struck some with the proof dies on the reverse. So it's got the accented G on the reverse of this one. And I found this coin roll hunting. I do have a sister, a Lemonhead, and I'm not sure, I don't remember if she likes peanut butter. Yeah. She's 4 years older than me. Yeah, if you think I'm if you think I'm 16, then that's you're a few decades off. Gamble. I would actually like to set up one of the bots, but I have no idea how to do it. Like, I've got the program, but I just don't know how to connect them because I'm not that smart yet. Yeah, whenever you got time, Shay. Oh, check this out. I think you guys will get a kick out of this one. So I did this the other night. This is an example of a class 1 doubled die. So this would be the die um, that would strike the coin, and thus creating. This is obviously exaggerated, but if this were to strike the coin, then you would get the examples like the 1955 and the well, the 1955 would be the extreme example. Um, but yeah, I think this was kind of a neat thing to set up. So I was thinking about doing the different classes if I could do so. I'm kind of working through them as I get a chance. Um, that I'm gonna put these together. So that would be a class 1. So basically, it would be a set of training dies, basically, so people can see. Okay, so I know that this is a class 1, and this is what a class 1 is going to look like. So when this strikes a coin, and I have that separation of the and it's class 1 is rotation. So this is what the die is going to look like, because we know what the coins look like, but this is what the die will look like that creates that design. So we have a better understanding of that the actual die is errored, and not problems with the coin. Hey, Charlie H. But I did resolve my my 3D printer issue that was causing this to happen. For whatever reason, what happened is that it had finished the print, and then it would drop straight down into the print and just basically melt it. And this was the full size die that I was gonna send to Ken Peavy. But it's destroyed. So I might still send it to him, just as an example for a CUD, because this is effectively what would happen is that a chunk of the edge of the die would break off, and then that's what you have left over, and that's why that piece of metal is left on the coin, because there's no die section there to move it out of the way. I do need to make a hub, a reverse. I need to make a reverse is what I need to make, because this is basically the same thing, only this is a cutoff section. It's got the spot for the for the key right there, but this is just a straight, would be a straight. So this would be the obverse die on the top, comes down and squishes it. And I just need to design a reverse to this. I just realized I had more coins on my desk, and I don't know what they're for. More coins? Why more coins? I don't know. Because. $59. Oh, I think I was looking at possible double die obverse on this one. If you're talking about vacation limit head, kind of. Define chase women, because one of the things up there when I go to Montana is I actually did get permission to metal detect some places up there, and there's some history that goes back to the early 1900s, in those areas. So I'm kind of stoked to see what kind of relics that I can find, that would tie to the history, to tie the history to the coins. Yeah, I'm really excited because there's a section, that I'll be going to where, there's a church that's been there since the 20s. But then right next to that is a space that there used to be a community building, that they sold in like 36 or something. So there would have been a lot of activity around that, just that space. Um, that could be a lot of cool things. Yeah, Shay, have a good night, man. Anybody interested in the Sacagaweas? If not, I'll kick those aside and pull something else out. I feel you. Um, I did find a 71 Denver double die today. I am pretty sure about that. 1971 Kennedy, um, double die. I've got separation on the T. I've got separation on the I. And that's what gives it away. So I think that's a cool one. And it's actually not in bad condition. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, 100%. I got a separation on the S and trust. Yeah, I like that one. So that's a 71 Denver double die. Do 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 do. Okay, Limited. Thanks for coming in. So I got these. Um, I got these with a bunch of state quarters. And they're bicentennials. I haven't even looked at them yet. I have no idea what they look like. I just set them aside because I don't have a spot for them. Field D. Yeah. It's just like I just have like these random coins. Like here's a 46 Philadelphia wheatback. I don't know what I'm doing with that one. I got a stack of wheats over here. Was it 1913? Yep, 1913. I just really need to organize. 46, 45, 44. I think I looked at this 44 to see if it's a... I didn't see a double die on it. No. Over here trying to get like organized, and I'm just making it worse. I did find a coin that I was gonna send to Shay. This is a nickel that I found coin roll hunting. And I think it would fit very well in his oh, come on. Come on. There we go. I think this would fit very well in his angry coin collection. I have no idea what happened to this poor thing. But somebody was mad. Because it's got like the gashes in it, then it's got all these little holes in it. And I'm like, what did somebody do to this poor thing? Right? So I was gonna send that Shay's way. Be like, here, add this to your angry coins, because that's right up his alley. I got Canadians that I need to put away. Man, I don't know what. Like, I don't know if I just stopped labeling stuff, or if I just stacked it up because I was gonna get to it or something, but I never did. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Because here I've got a 2002. But I've got nothing on the front. Nothing on the obverse. Nothing on the reverse. I have no idea why I set it aside. I don't have any notes on it. Maybe I just put it aside because it's a 2002. I have no idea. So it goes away. I also have sets of the state quarters. I do have individual states. I've got a lot of them. I haven't counted, but I believe that I have 30-ish different states. I just printed these out, and I can put these in acrylics. I have year sets available. I have, what years do I have? They are right here. So I've got individual states, then I've got the years. So I've got, let's point it the right way. So I've got 2004. I've got the full year set. These are all BU coins that I got a hold of. And so they're in custom printed holders inside 2x2 acrylics. So 2004. I've got 2008, starting with Oklahoma. I have 2001, and then I have a bunch of just loose states that I haven't put together yet. So if you're looking for something like that, where you have a BU coin and you want to have it in a holder, that would be the way to go. That you can have a set. This is 2008, so I need to go over here. So 2001, 2004, 2008. I've got those. Those are done and ready to go. I have individual states. Like I got some individual state ones just sitting right here with coins in them. I have Idaho, Arkansas, Kansas, Nebraska. I've got those. What else do I have? Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And so the story behind, and I have the coins themselves. I'll pull up my box here. I use penny boxes because that's what I've got. So I got my hands on anywhere from a small handful to like 1.5 rolls. I just put them in these rolls. No, I didn't put these in the rolls. These are the ones that I got from the bank because they had to hand roll them. Because a customer brought these in and just said, "Hey, I don't want these. Just put them into my account." So they had these entire sets of brand new BU coins, like straight from the mint. So they called me and they said, "Hey, we just got these in. Are you interested in these?" And I said, "Sure, I'll come over and get them." So I ended up picking up a bunch of them, almost all of them. They had gone through some by the time I got there, but like I've got like a roll and a half of Pennsylvania. I don't have all of the states, but I've got a bunch of them. So if you're looking for some of those, I have those also available. Quarters is really not my thing, but to find that quantity at face value, because I checked around and BU state quarters are going for about 75 cents to $1 on eBay is about the going rate, and to get all of that in at that same level for face value, then yeah, I was gonna take a chance because if nothing else, I don't have any traction on them. Then I can sell them off individually on eBay. And if worse comes to worse, then I just take them back to my dump bank and just get the straight money back for them. But I wouldn't mind making a little bit off of them if I can. So well, yeah, we'll see. I put together, which one is it? Is it this one? Yeah, I put together this one right here. So I 3D printed this. It says NIFC. And so this is a complete set of 2002 to 2017 NIFCs. These are all the coins in it. I don't have all Denver or all Philadelphia, but most of them are going to be Denver. I think I've only got two Philadelphia in here. Otherwise, it's going to be a full set of NIFCs that is also available if you were looking for something like that. I got lots of stuff. Ooh, I don't know what that is. I've got a random, like half of a flip on my desk. I don't know why. That was kind of gross. If you're looking for 2009s, 2009 nickels, I've got bunches and bunches of those. All of those are coin roll hunting finds. But yeah, I've got bunches and bunches. I have completed sets of book number 3 in the Lincoln series. So books like this. This is this 1975 to 2013. This one's missing the zinc Denver large date. But otherwise, I think I have 7 of these that are completely filled. So there's a couple of them that have like 1 or 2 coins missing. But I also have these available too, if you guys want something like that. Yeah, I've kind of got a few of them. So I've got 5 of them. These should all be complete. Yeah, these are all completes. So these I just put together just because I wanted to, I guess. It's something about completing a book that just really drives me. So that's what I spend a lot of my time doing, is trying to complete books of stuff. Yeah, even my books are a mess because I've got books everywhere. I've got the Kennedy set that I just finished. I've got the Nichols, the Jefferson Nichols. There's one set that I'm almost done with. Excuse me. That I need some silver ones, and like the frustrating thing is that I can go through a couple of boxes and I find stuff like this. So 43, 43, 42, 42, 43, 43, 43, 42. All of these are silver nickels. And the very one that I need, I just can't find it. So there's 2 that I need for this one. I need the 42S and then the 44 Philly. But otherwise, there's stuff like this one. And this one even has, I found a key date. Where'd it go? There it is. That one right there. I found that one coin roll hunting, and about lost my mind. That one right there. 1950D. 2.6 million. So I found the key date coin roll hunting. So it shows that you can actually finish a set of something coin roll hunting as long as you like do it enough, and that you are in an area that works. Because like my area right now, in my area I get I get a Buffalo, a 2009, or a silver, at least one in every single box. And there's a lot of people that they don't even find that. So in my last nickel box, I found the 2009 Denver, I found that's something else. I found this 1926 Buffalo. Then I found, where was it? There it is. Then I found a 2002 S Proof, all in the same box. So I didn't get my silver, but I got my, low mintage 2009. I got my 1926 Buffalo, which it's got some damage on it. But these are the coins that I find pretty consistently in each box. And then a couple boxes ago, I pulled this one out, and this is actually the second one that I found. Focus. It needs the light. It needs the light. There we go. It's a 1903 V nickel. So this is the second one that I found. The first one that I found was not nearly in this good of condition. I mean, it was a lot more worn down. But it really goes to show that that you can literally find anything. So the V nickels are basically equivalent to the Indian heads of the pennies, and to find something like it was cool because like I found it like mixed in with the coins, and I'm going through and I lay them out, and that's all I see is I just see the stars. I'm like, oh, okay, I know exactly what that is. And the other thing that I consistently find is I consistently find a lot of 40s, late obviously late 30s and 40s in these rolls. Like in this last box, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 1941s and then 1949, and that was just in the last box. Like that's a lot of really early coins. So what I've said about my area is that my area is really just not searched at all for or in nickels. Now the half dollars are searched pretty decently. I know that there are a couple of people that get boxes at a couple of the banks that I've been around. So I know that there are some in my immediate area that get boxes of half dollars. But nickels, nobody gets nickels around here. And, I show that in my videos that I have, with all of the silver, like all of this stack of silver that I got in nickels. This is 3 boxes. I got that much out of 3 boxes. That's a lot. That's a lot of silver to be found in nickels. The in regards to the V nickel, I've known what they look like, and the first one that I found was actually one that I put in this book. So I got this one. I got this one for my son. This is my son's book that I put together for him. So basically, this is effectively a typeset of the coins of the 20th century. So it starts out with your cents, the Indian heads, the wheats, the steel, and then the memorials, and the nickels. This is the first one and only other one that I found, and it happens to be a 1912. So the cool thing is that all of these coins, except for like well, here we go. I bought that one, but I found this one, and this one in circulation boxes. I found all of these in circulation boxes. The dimes I had floating around. I had to buy the barber. And then it goes to the quarters. So it starts with a quarter. I had it's an 1898 barber quarter. That I need to get a different one because that one's so worn down that it doesn't sit in there. Standing Liberty, I had 64. I had the Clad, the Bicentennial, and the Statehood. I chose Oregon because that's where my son was born. All of those I had. The half dollars. The half dollars are some that I had from other live streams. The Barber I got from live stream. Walker I got from live stream. Franklin I got from live stream. But the silver and the Clad, those are ones that I found. And then this is where it starts getting good. So this Morgan 1921, the Peace Dollar, and then all these other coins are coins that I had from either picking them up at the coin shop previously, or I've had them. Like I got these Eisenhowers from a bank, that they had a bunch of Eisenhowers. It was like 8 of them or something like that. A couple of different times that I ended up getting getting the Eisenhowers. So yeah. So I've been able to find a lot of coins, and I loved putting this book together, because it really shows the difference in all of the coins. You can see that one fell out. It's so light. It just sits in there. Putting all of these coins together, because then when my son looks at it, he can see the history of the coins, and that's what it's really about. Really about for me is just the history. And I like researching the coins. I like going through finding about the history. There's a coin that I have somewhere. I know it's not on my desk, but I have it in my collection somewhere. That it's a coin from 1944. Yeah, 1944. And it comes from the country of Belgium. And what's interesting about that coin, about that specific coin, is that coin was minted actually in Philadelphia, at the U.S. Philadelphia Mint. And those coins were struck on leftover planchets from the steel cents from 1943. And so, like, to think about the history about this coin that I now have in my hands was intended to be a steel cent, was struck for this the Belgium during the Allied occupation, went to Europe, and then came back, and now I have it. So that's a really cool, really interesting part of the history, that I wouldn't necessarily know unless I did, unless I did the research behind the coins. And that's the part that drives me, is the history behind the coins. That's more interesting than just having the coins. Pennies I've had kind of good luck on. It really just depends on what bank I get it from. Like there's 2 branches of the same bank, within about 5 miles of each other. And as far as I understand, that they're all in the same what am I thinking of? Route. The same route for the armored service. And the coins that I get at the one closer to me, have better variety and better quality coins than the one that's 5 miles away. And I thought that was really kind of interesting, to have that kind of difference between 2 branches of the same bank. And it's not just like 1 or 2 times. Like it's pretty consistent, that there is a significant difference between, I mean, not as significant, but a noticeable difference um, between the two branches. I have not done dimes except for once, and um, yeah, I don't I don't know enough about the coins to be very good at looking through them. I know there's silver. I know there's the was it 68, 69, 70s that have the detailed reverse on the torch or something to that effect. Other than that, I don't really know a whole lot about the dimes. So that's one thing that I may I may get into as I evolve as a collector. Just like I did with the nickels, is that when I started getting into nickels, I did an entire video about the entire series of the nickels, about where they came from and ones to look for. And it was during that research that I learned a lot more about the nickels and what to look for, and all the different facets of all the different things. So especially um, if you decide to do something different, I would encourage you to do a video, um, teaching other people about the coin that you are learning about. Based off of the research, and basing off it, uh, off the information that you can find, and you can state in there that I find this was the information that I found, and this is why I think that this is a cool deal. Because there may be something that you come across that people really don't know, like hey, maybe there's a low mintage on an 82, or if there's looking at the series as a whole, if there's different facets of time that contributed to factors where the coins were either not produced, or maybe there was a time where it wasn't very popular, like the 20-cent piece. I did a video on that, because the 20-cent piece was only minted for 2 years. Technically, for circulation, it was minted for 2 years. And total mintage is actually 4 years. The last 2 years were proofs. But there was such a when the 20-cent piece came out, there was such a confusion between the 20-cent piece and the 25-cent piece, the $quarter, and they looked very, very similar. That it made a lot of people upset. So it's stuff like that there's a history on that coin that you can't find those floating around like we can the other ones, even though they have, as far as the coin goes, a high mintage. It was like 1.6, 1.7 million, because they only produced them for 2 years for circulation, and then there was a bunch that were left over still at the mints that were actually melted down to start minting other coins. So there's a lot of those coins that didn't even make it out into circulation, because they were melted down, and that's what makes the history of the coin more valuable. And that's what really drives me, is that you find something interesting about a coin, and then you figure out, okay, why, and that's why I'm making these things, is to see, okay, we know coins as being double dies. Okay, but what makes them double dies? Is it this? Is it the coin? Is it the planchet? Is it this hubbing? Like, what causes that to occur? So, just different things. So this would be a regular one. This would be my regular one, and this would be my class 1 doubled. Is basically what it would look like. I think I found a pretty good, hey Trey, a pretty good medium, in really matching up the coins with the history and being able to create things. I'm just taking off my gloves. No zipper. Just a difference of creating these different pieces on, like, we all know coins and we all know what makes them with the dies and everything, but what about that process? Is there anything that we can really communicate to the community to make the overall knowledge better? Because the thing that drives me absolutely nuts, and I know some other people it doesn't bother them, but you've got the same people that post on the forums or whatever, and this is whatever forum that you go on to. There's forums, there's chat rooms, whatever, and they say, I have this 1969S and it's a double die. How much is it worth? And then you start looking at the coin. It's like, no, this is not a double die. This is actually either die deterioration or it's machine doubling. And they're like, well, but I looked it up online and it's worth like $4,000. And you're like, no, this isn't one of those things that, hey, I found a coin in my pocket and the internet says that it's worth $5,000, so I want $5,000 for this. It's like, no, that's not how that works. Not how that works at all. And is what bothers me about that is that you're taking the history away from the coin. Yes, it's a coin, and there's a lot of people that a coin is just a coin, but there's a history. There's a reason why that coins are like what they are, and it's that thing that they take that history away from it, and they just say, I have a coin, what machine do I stick it in so I can get money? Like, and it really, like, to me, it really, like, kind of kills some of the culture of coin collecting and numismatics. And it drives me bonkers. It makes me hurt, because it's like there are a ton of people that don't care about the coins. Like, what about the rest of us that care about the coins, that care about the history? Like, you know, it feels like that type of mentality, not that it's bad, they're just uneducated, really kind of undermines some of the coin community. And that's the part that bothers me. But that's one of my internal struggles, and you know, I'll try to help somebody out. I had somebody arguing with me on a coin that I knew very specifically what it was, and I told them, I'm like, okay, this is what you have, and they're like, no, it's not. I'm like, but you just posted a picture asking what it was, and then I told you, and because what I told you was not what you wanted to hear, and that makes me wrong. Like, that bothers me. Now, if I say, this is what I think it is, and I'm wrong, well then absolutely I'm wrong, and please correct me. If I'm missing something, or if I'm not seeing it because the light's weird or something, then that's fine. But if it's something that I know, that I'm very reasonably confident that I know the answer, and you're asking me, you're asking outside a question, and I respond to that, and then you tell me that I'm wrong, well then, if you know so much, then why are you posting a picture for information? Like, that kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? That's my rant. Sometimes people just have to see to believe when they don't make the money and they thought they could. Yeah, but there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that, like the 1982. 1982 Denver small date copper. So one, people are uneducated about the difference between a large date and a small date, even though there are 14,627 posts right before their picture that is someone else with a picture of a 1982, and 14 links to references about how to read the difference between the 1982 small date and large date. And that's just the small date and the large date. So then there's that level, and then you go a level higher. So say you have somebody that says, "Hey, this is a small date. This is the special one." And then you have to go back and you have to educate them again and say, "Okay, what you're looking for is the small date, Denver specifically, and then it has to be copper. So it has to weigh the 3.1 grams." And they're like, "Well, this is it." It's like, did you weigh it? No. Well, how do you know it's a copper then? Well, it's a penny. It's always copper. And it's just like, right there is like my brain just like explodes from like the sides of my head. It's like, at that point, they don't care about the coin. They don't care about anything. They just want to see the money. And a lot of it comes with education. And there are some channels that do a really great job of teaching. CoinOp does a good job. Ken does an excellent job teaching these different things for people to see that, but not everybody is subscribed and watches Ken, although they should, because he's got a lot of information, and he has a wealth of information. And there's a lot of those that there's all of these references that we have that we know as coin collectors, but my personal struggle is getting that type of knowledge out into the world. Because think about if you go on to, we'll say CoinOp Facebook, right? Just for the sake of speaking numbers, how many posts are there on? How many posts are there every single day that is just a picture saying, "What do you think?" And there's a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that, because they're asking the question. The problem that I have is, think about taking all of those is this the 1982 small date? And is this the 1969 S double die? If you take all of those posts out, okay, what kind of questions would you have there? And that's just those two things. Even you can even take out the 1982 small date and just leave the 1969 S double die. So how many posts would that eliminate where other people can ask much better questions? Like they can ask, like, so I've got this coin, I found this in a roll, like whatever, like, why is the coin like this? Why does it have the mirrored fields, and why does it have the the frosted finish? And then we can continue with the education of, okay, that's what's called a proof. Because then people, I think, will learn from that by seeing those types of questions, not trying to sift through the 14,000. Hey, is this the 1982 the small date? Is this the special one? Is this the one that's worth $4,000? Like, that's the part that gets me. I know I'm ranting, and I get it, but think about how much that one topic, the 1982, and the reason why it's such a big deal is because it was on the news and was in the magazines. And 1982 is, somebody found one, it sold for $43,000. Like I get that, but yes, your chances of finding something like that are extremely rare, but they are out there. Look at the last year, the auctions for 1943 copper. There have been several, and we're talking big money. 1943 copper. There was one that I saw, 1943 copper, that had a cut error on it, and that thing sold for like 1.3 million. And that's because, and they see that as like, well, there's a reason, there's a history behind that coin on why that particular coin is worth that much. It's because, number one, it's copper. They didn't mint copper in 1943, they minted steel. On top of that, there's an error from that die, because a piece of that die that was being used was broken. So you can take the history of that one coin and say, this was an extreme fluke. This should not have happened at all. And that's what makes it valuable. So you take the 1982 situation, and we just take it away. What other questions, what other varieties, what other errors can be discovered by people asking the question? Because now instead of asking, oh, is this a 1982? Now they're asking, hey, I noticed this coin has this on it. What is this? What makes this do that? Where they're more interested about the information than they are about the coin. Because, and I've asked this question to a couple of different chats on what are the possibilities that a major variety is found in wheat cents in this day and age. Small? Is it big? Well, I think part of the problem is that people aren't looking for them. there's not a lot of people that are looking for, sorry, that are looking for those, those, you know, those, hey, what's this? They just want the coin that will get them the money. Now, not to say that's bad, per se, because we would all like to find a 1943 copper that we can turn into some money. I know very few people that would turn that down. But what about what else is out there? You know, what else exists out there that we don't know about yet because we're too busy on this stupid 82? Oh, I would keep it too. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what else is out there that we don't know yet? What else is out there that exists of errors or varieties that we don't know yet because there's so much time and effort being put towards people going on to forums that saying that's a 1982 large date, that's not what you're looking for. And people getting butthurt about it because all they want to hear is, yeah, that's the one you can sell for $5,000. You can sell for 500. You can sell for 100. Right. Absolutely. And that's and like it kills me. It's like, okay, this is the 13th post that I've commented on today about you have a large date, 82 Denver. And it's worth about 1 cent. And they're like, well, no, it's not. It's worth $10. It's like, no, it's actually not. Because all they want to see is the money. When I am going through and I'm doing coin roll hunting, I look for everything that I know of. And I've just kind of gotten to the point where, you know, basically anything pre 60s, I guess, or pre 70s. I'm looking for RPMs on the Lincoln cents. I'll look for double dies every once in a while. If it's pre 1960, then I keep it. Just because 1959, because of the wheats, I do keep all my wheats. I have not gone back through and looked for errors and varieties, because I'm lazy. But I will readily admit to that, though. I'm getting more informed about the Kenny half dollars, thanks to Manta Coins. Plug for Manta Coins. Go check them out. Great channel. Get them 1,000 subs. Just saying. And there's a lot of things that I didn't know in the Kennedys that I had previously researched, just based off of double dies and stuff like that. Like the 1996 die crack. I've never even looked for the 1996 die crack. But guess what? I found 2 of them today. So it's one of those things that, being okay learning something new, because, a lot of it is, I just don't look for it. It doesn't, not to say that it doesn't mean anything, but I didn't know it before. I didn't know what to look for before. Um, but there are some coins that I will spend hours researching. Um, like Poor Ken got me started, got me hooked on these seated dimes. And these seated dimes, there are so many different things that are going on with these seated dimes, and I would never even think, I never had previously thought that there was so much going on with them. The 1876, 77, and 1878, there are two different reverses. There's a Type 1 and a Type 2. There are, in the 1875s, there are two different mint marks, and both of those mint marks have two locations that they could possibly be. They could be above the bow, or they could be below the bow. Well, if you actually look at the history of the coin and realize that you can get yes, 9 dimes, absolutely. If you actually look at the surviving specimens estimates that PCGS has for this, the 1975 seeded dime, the CCs, Carson City, the surviving specimens for the above bow mint mark location are about 3,000. But then you go to the below bow, it's only 1,500. It's like, well, hold on, what? The mint mark location can have a significant impact to the value of the coin, just based on location. And that's true in other series as well, because there are coins that have mint marks on, that have varieties, in the sense that they have mint marks either on the front or on the back. But something as simple as that. So I spent like a couple of nights, and I went through eBay, and I bought like 5 1875 Carson City mint mark below the bow, and I was picking them up for less than $10 each. So let's take that into consideration. So I now own 5. Possibly, just in the realm of numbers, just for kicks and giggles, I own 5 of 1,500 surviving specimens. Really? No way. I did the same thing with the 1876 Type 2 reverse, and I did a whole video on it about the difference between Type 1 and Type 2. And then you start looking at the mintages, and I'm like, wait a minute. And Ken has talked about this a couple of different times about really learning about the coins and how it affects the value. The 20-cent piece, well, they start at about $90, and they go up from there because of the history. But what about all these other coins? What about all these other coins that, if you actually look at the history and you actually look at the history behind these coins, there are certain things that you get to see that actually influences the value of them. Hey Trey, I've got some. So once in a while, and I don't really call it cherry picking, but there's a lot of people that do cherry pick eBay because they know the history behind the coins, and they'll pick them up for pennies on the dollar. Now, I'm not saying that the coins that I have are super good quality, but I'm not not about, like, I would love to have, you know, an MS State 1876 seated dime Type 2 reverse. Like, yeah, that would be awesome, and those would be worth, you know, a couple $100, I'm sure. But just take into account, say that the 1875 Carson City below bow. Just take that one just for instance. The last time I checked, the going rate was about $13. They are struck on silver, you know, and so the silver melt value is, you know, is a little bit up there, but it's the history of the coin that makes that coin actually worth more than a CC with above the bow. And it could just be something as simple as that. And there's a lot of things like the Type 1 and the Type 2 reverse there's three different things to look for. It's the location of the E in 1, how close it is to the edge. It's the location of where the wreath comes up between the M and the E on dime, and then it's the left bow of the entire wreath. The left side of the bow only has one end on the Type 2 versus the Type 1 that has two ends on it. So I can have two coins that are comparable as far as, you know, $5-6. But the difference in just that little thing can make it easily a $13 coin. But more importantly, it is that you are getting something that has half the surviving rate of its brother. And if you guys ever go onto PCGS, I'm gonna pull it up right now, so I might lag just a little bit. Hold on. PCGS. Man, I really want that pizza. So we're gonna go to the Coinfax, and we are going to look at. We're gonna look at dimes. We're gonna look at Liberty seated dimes. And we're going to go down to the Type 5. And we're going to go down and look for the 1875 CC mint mark above. Okay, so PCGS has all grades. Survival estimate 3,000. Okay. So there's 3,000 estimated survival of a CC mint mark above. Now, if we go to the mint mark below, all grades, 1,500. Now, here, if we use this knowledge of the coins, here is where we can get into a very, very interesting spot. Okay, Adriana, have a good night. If you can find something like this, say in this situation, this dime, or something like this, and research the history on it, and find out that we'll just say for instance that the dies that were used to mint this were weak to begin with, or were rusted, or, you know, had issues with them. So all of, like, after the first set of dies were used, all of the other dies that struck circulation coins were weak, or weak graded. So that if you can find a high grade version or a higher grade version of that coin, and this is true even with modern coins, by the way, guys. So for example, this dime, There has PCGS has only certified about 30 mint state examples of the 1875 Carson City with the mint mark um, below the wreath, with the majority of the coins distributed fairly between MS 62 to 65. There is one single example of a 66, of an MS 66. So if you can find one of those that has, a better grade, that has the history, then that's really where the cherry picking comes from. But you have to know about the history, about the coins in order to do that. And I think that understanding of how coins are made, just like this stuff, it's the understanding that is missed. So, like, I'm trying my hand at a lot of different things. I'm gonna try to do live streaming more, so I can talk about this kind of stuff with anybody that wants to come in and listen to me yap for hours. I'm making this stuff so people can see, like, in their hands, like, okay, so this is a class 1 doubling. What does it look like on the die that's striking the coins? What kind of design is it going to make on the coins? This is what you're looking for. You're looking for this reference point right here on the edge of the T that separates on your coin. That specific knowledge is what I'm trying to help get out into the community, because I think it's the understanding and the knowledge that will really help grow the community. So if there was something that you guys were looking for, I do a lot of research just because I like researching the history on coins. There's a couple, there's numerous amounts of references for different types of coins. There are references like VamWorld that specifically go over the peace dollars and the Morgans. And you can actually find they've been able to determine basically all of the die pairings for those coins through the research. Excuse me. Through the research of that coin, that they've been able to, with the coins and with the notes from, and the history from the mints, they've been able to piece together the exact die pairings. There's one, which one was it? I have a coin somewhere. What is it? What is it? It may be the 20-cent one. I want to say it's the 20-cent one. But there was only like 12 die pairings, die marriages for that coin, and of those, there are stuff like that the repunched dates, the dropped numbers, and those kinds of things. But I was able to determine that one coin came from one die marriage, a single die marriage. I was able to narrow it down to that. On top of that, if you look at the total mintage of that coin, which had the highest mintage, it was like 1.3 million. So you divide that out to the 12 die marriages and stuff like that. That I was able to rough guesstimate that this coin that I have can only be one of, 127,000 coins ever minted, period, ever. Not that all of those coins made it to circulation. So you also have to think about that. But it's that part that I think is really interesting. So there's a lot of research on like the die trails and stuff like that really show the state of the dies to help people find those, to figure out that type of information. So if you guys have some of the older coins, I would look into that. There's a lot of websites that actually have specific die pairings. There's a couple of them. There was one that I was looking at that had let's see, misplaced dates, shattered die varieties, rarity ratings, so, and another thing that I kind of thought was interesting is some of the rarity ratings, depending on what scale that they're using. You could have an estimated survival of, say, 1,500, but if you look at the scarcity or the rarity rating, depending on which scale is used, you might have 1,500 total survivors. But as far as in like common wear or good grades, you can drop that number to a few hundred. And that's really what's interesting, is if you can narrow down to that. You guys got any questions? All right, I've been on for 2 hours and 10 minutes. I am going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody that's come in and chatted. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and email me in the email on the bottom of the screen here. If you guys have any questions, should be somewhere here, right there. If you guys are interested in getting any of these that I'm making, either these or any of the state quarters, I can do that. Just send me an email with what you're looking for, and we'll work it out. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming in. CJ's Coins. See you next time.